The Baltic Sea has a reputation for keeping secrets. Its cold, murky waters have swallowed countless ships, armies, and entire coastlines over millennia. But in 2011, something emerged from this underwater darkness that challenged everything we thought we knew about prehistoric human capabilities. A Swedish treasure hunting team called Ocean X, using side-scan sonar while searching for shipwrecks, detected something impossible. A massive, circular formation resting at 85 meters depth between Sweden and Finland. The sonar image showed geometric precision, a near-perfect circle approximately 60 meters in diameter with straight lines radiating from its center, accompanied by what appeared to be a constructed ramp or staircase leading to the top of the formation. This wasn't a shipwreck. It wasn't a sunken vessel or crashed aircraft. It was something far older and far more enigmatic. The discovery, dubbed the Baltic Sea anomaly, immediately sparked fierce debate. Skeptics dismissed it as a natural geological formation, perhaps an unusual glacial deposit or volcanic rock formation. Believers argued it represented a man-made structure, possibly a prehistoric settlement, ceremonial site, or defensive fortification, built when the Baltic was still dry land. The truth? We still don't know for certain, and that's exactly why we're investigating this mystery, with 2026's most advanced underwater forensic technology. Modern sonar technology has advanced dramatically since that initial 2011 discovery. We're now deploying multi-beam sonar systems that create high-resolution 3D models of the seabed with centimeter-level precision. These aren't the grainy, ambiguous images of the past. These are detailed topographic maps that reveal every ridge, crack, and surface feature of the anomaly. When we apply this technology to the Baltic structure, the results are stunning and deeply puzzling. The main formation measures approximately 60 meters across, but it's not alone. Additional sonar scans have revealed a trail of smaller formations leading to the main structure, almost like a pathway. The primary structure sits elevated above the surrounding seabed, perched on what appears to be a pillar or foundation. The top surface shows regular patterns that don't match typical glacial scoring or volcanic formation. There are straight lines. Nature doesn't do straight lines. There are right angles. Geology rarely produces right angles. And there are what appear to be deliberately arranged stone blocks, some measuring several meters across. The scale is breathtaking. If this is a natural formation, it's one of the most geometrically perfect accidents in geological history. If it's artificial, it represents a level of prehistoric construction capability that predates the Egyptian pyramids by potentially thousands of years. Remote-operated vehicles equipped with high-definition cameras have descended to document the structure up close, revealing surface textures that some researchers argue show evidence of tool marks and deliberate shaping, while others insist these are simply erosion patterns from millennia of underwater currents. The geology tells a complicated story. Rock samples collected from the structure have been analyzed extensively, and the results raise more questions than answers. The primary material is basalt and granite, volcanic and igneous rocks that are not naturally found in this area of the Baltic seabed. The surrounding seabed consists primarily of sedimentary deposits, sand, and clay. So how did these massive volcanic rocks end up here, arranged in seemingly deliberate patterns? The skeptical explanation invokes glacial transport. During the last ice age, massive glaciers covered Scandinavia, and as they moved, they carried enormous boulders, called glacial erratics, hundreds of miles from their origin points. When the ice melted, these boulders were deposited randomly across the landscape. It's entirely possible, skeptics argue, that what we're seeing is simply a collection of glacial erratics that happened to land in a circular pattern. Unlikely? Yes. Impossible? No. But proponents of the artificial structure theory point out significant problems with the glacial explanation. Glacial deposits are random and chaotic. They don't arrange themselves in geometric patterns, with straight edges and right angles. They don't create ramp-like structures or elevated platforms. When geologists examine known glacial erratics elsewhere in Scandinavia, they see jumbled, irregular formations, nothing like the precise arrangement at the Baltic anomaly site. There's also the question of surface features. Several researchers who have examined close-up photography claim to see evidence of artificial modification. Straight cuts that appear too clean to be natural fractures, surfaces that seem deliberately flattened, and what might be soot deposits suggesting ancient fire use. However, these observations remain controversial, with other experts arguing these features are within the range of natural geological processes, especially given millennia of underwater erosion. To understand if this structure could be man-made, we need to consider the timeline. Approximately 11,000 years ago, during a climatic period called the Younger Dryas, the Baltic Sea didn't exist as we know it today. Sea levels were roughly 120 meters lower than present, meaning the site where the anomaly now rests was dry land, potentially a coastal plain or valley floor. This was the late Paleolithic period transitioning into the Mesolithic, when humans in northern Europe were primarily hunter-gatherers. Here's where it gets fascinating. Conventional archaeology tells us that monumental stone architecture didn't emerge until much later, with sites like Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, built around 9500 BCE, representing the earliest known example of large-scale stone construction. But what if that timeline is incomplete? What if coastal populations living in areas now submerged by post-Ice Age sea level rise were more architecturally sophisticated than we've given them credit for? The Baltic region during this period would have supported human populations. They would have had access to stone, wood, and the motivation to build permanent or ceremonial structures. Some researchers speculate the anomaly could be a coastal settlement foundation, a defensive structure against rival groups, a ceremonial platform for astronomical observations, or even a sophisticated fishing installation designed to trap marine life. Any of these explanations would require us to dramatically revise our understanding of prehistoric Northern European capabilities. So what's the verdict? After compiling sonar data, rock analysis, photographic evidence, and comparative geological studies, the honest answer is, we don't definitively know. The structure remains anomalous. It doesn't fit comfortably into either the natural geological or artificial construction categories. The scientific community remains divided, with geologists generally favoring a natural explanation and a minority of archaeologists and engineers arguing the geometric precision suggests human involvement. What we can say with certainty is that the structure deserves further investigation. The Baltic Sea floor remains one of the least explored regions on Earth, and discoveries like this remind us how much we've yet to learn about our planet's prehistoric past. Whether this anomaly represents a lost chapter of human history or simply a remarkable geological coincidence, it demonstrates the value of continued deep-sea exploration and the application of advancing technology to ancient mysteries. The Baltic keeps its secrets well, but we're developing the tools to finally extract them. As sonar technology improves and autonomous underwater vehicles become more sophisticated, we'll be able to map not just this anomaly but the entire Baltic seabed with unprecedented detail. Perhaps we'll find similar structures. Perhaps we'll find definitive evidence of natural formation. Or perhaps we'll find something that forces us to completely rewrite the story of prehistoric human civilization in Northern Europe. Until then, the Baltic Sea anomaly remains exactly what it appears to be, a genuine unresolved mystery lying in cold, dark waters, waiting for us to finally understand its true nature.